Black Friday 2021. A day that none of us will ever forget.
There's a message from E-Town. You're going down, punk.
Oh, what? No, he's still no.
Was the bike ride even real? Experts question if Matt's ride for Retowne even happened at all. Who is Derek Mungleford?
That's Rich.
Is it possible that he is one and the same with the founder of Retowne, Matthew Warren Donovan?
Hey, I was working and
Who is superfan Billy Joe Dean? And is that really even his real name?
This thing that we're all witnessing, this E-Town versus Retowne explosion.
Didn't realize you were there.
And could it be possible that incredibly famous and successful musician Eddie Schiffler is even involved in this conspiracy?
That was Harry, my producer. Heard that Mr. Donovan posted another video. I didn't watch it. Not that interested. There's a message from E-Town. You're going down, punk.
Oh, what? No, he's still no.
Harry gave me the rundown, the gist. Apparently Mr. Donovan lost one of his storage units. Boo-hoo. You know how many storage units I've lost over the years? I don't even know what I own anymore. Come to think of it, I don't think I own anything.
A moment that was burned into all of our brains, that will remain there for the rest of our lives as we witnessed the ransacking of a free thrift Black Friday yard sale. And there is not one among us who does not remember exactly where they were on that day, at the exact moment when we all heard the crash of the thrift items onto the concrete. And we saw, for the first time, a man with the white shoes and black pants.
Got this outfit. Top notch.
One thing that's for certain is that the man with the white shoes and the black pants could not have possibly done all the damage that was reported by Retowne in the time that he was there.
So, I don't even know what to say here. So it looks like E-Town, Mr. Funny Guy here, wanted to send some hooligans to come and disrupt the yard sale. And look, they're breaking. Dude broke something, like started throwing all the toys around, broke the bread maker. Dude came rushing into the garage and just started throwing stuff. Like, that's not funny. Like, I get it. We're all just trying to joke around and, and
Could it be possible that Retowne framed E-Town and destroyed its own property to create a controversy that would bring support to its group and raise funding of its non-profit organization?
You kidding? Are you
kidding me? Anyway, reminds me of a story of my own. I know Matt told a story a few days ago about his youth. Very poignant tale. Learning to drive, something about a fly's butt.
Retowne. What is the idea? Is it a thrift store, and then it's going to be a cafe and a bookstore. It's going to be a Jeep with a canoe on top, and it floats in the water, and there's a bazooka, and you can shoot people with it. And also, it's a non-profit organization that feeds the homeless and houses the poor. And what else? They serve Egg McMuffins in the morning, but then it turns into fine dining at night, and also it's going to be a publishing company and a record label and a concert venue.
It's hard to describe Retowne at all, really. It defies description in so many ways, but I've come to understand it. But it's a process.
I met someone who reminded me of Mr. Donovan, so I wanted to share this story with you, and hope that you can draw from it the same kind of wisdom that I was able to glean many, many years ago, that apparently Mr. Donovan has not. Anyway, the year was 1996. I was something of an amateur archaeologist. I was living in Sea Isle City. That year there was a bad nor'easter. Huge snowstorm hit the East Coast, and in Sea Isle there was massive flooding. The waves pounded upon the shore, dredging up all sorts of artifacts from the ocean floor. There were mountains of clamshells. Actually, I think there were many live clams in there because it smelled awful, putrid, really. I loved it. Everybody else seemed to have complaints.
You know, people ask me, like, what board? Who's the board? And, you know, some people think they don't exist, and that's just not what it is. I mean, put it this way. My theory is there's a board, and there's 5 members, and those are split parts of Matthew's intellect. And some people say, well, that's nuts. And I would say to those people this: if you split Matt's brain into 5 distinct parts, I think those parts, all of them, would be twice as smart as you.
But I would go out there day after day and go digging through those mountains of clamshells for fossilized bones and strange pieces of the past. Children's beach toys from the 60s, styrofoam cups from 1985, severed fingers from South Jersey mob deals gone wrong.
There's a message from E-Town. You're going down, punk.
Oh, what? No, he's still.
Anyway, one particular night, I decided to take a walk north along the beach and just take in the sunset as it began to dampen the evening, darken the world around me. I walked for many blocks, lost in my thoughts. I noticed up ahead there was someone sitting in some type of large beach chair. As I approached, I noticed that it was a strange sort of beach chair. It looked to have large plastic yellow wheels. In fact, as I kept approaching, I noticed that it was actually some type of a beach wheelchair. Strange thing, I hadn't ever seen one before. There it was.
You know, I theorize that E-Town might be something about fossil fuels. You know, because it's all wrapped up in the ego and identity of the creators. And there's multiple layers always. What you see is not what you get, so don't you dare think you know what you see.
E-Town, you're going down.
Don't you dare think you know what you see.
Don't you dare think you know what you see.
When I was about a half a block away, I noticed there were no legs dangling over the front edge of the seat. Just a few yards from the person sitting in this beach wheelchair, I noticed it was a young woman who also had no arms. Now, I was a shy and awkward young man back in those days, did my best to be polite, but when it came to talking to strangers, I feared for my life. Thought that the simple act of saying hello, being kind, could get me thrown into the back of a van, taken to some back alley in Atlantic City, robbed, beaten, left naked and bleeding. I don't know why I was afraid of that. It's kind of what happened to me every weekend in Wildwood when I was that age, but that was for fun. It's a different story then.
And then he does a publicity stunt to raise money and awareness for his organization, so he decides he's going to ride a bike to Florida from New Jersey. And guess where he's coming? He's coming to my house, but he didn't even tell me that that's where he was going to end up. He didn't even ask if he was invited. And then it turns out, the more I find out he's on the road, he slept in and missed his ride to Philly, so he couldn't even start the trip where he planned to start it. So then he didn't bring any money on the trip either. So all of his donations, I guess, are trying to bail him out.
Don't you dare think you know what you see.
Anyway, as I was passing this young woman, this quadriplegic woman sitting in a beach wheelchair, I nodded, said hello. She jumped at the interaction. She said, hello, how are you? How are you tonight? It's a lovely night, isn't it? I stuttered and paused a moment. Yes, very nice, very nice. Well, good evening. She said, well, it's so beautiful, but it's such a shame to enjoy such beauty alone. I feel so lonely. Don't you feel lonely? At this point, my hackles were raised. I was feeling a bit awkward, but I could relate. I did, in fact, feel lonely. I could empathize with this poor young woman, even though I had all my limbs. What was inside resonated. I said to her, you know, madam, I do, in fact, feel lonely. It is nice to see you. And admittedly, I was still a little bit freaked out that she had no arms or legs, so I tried to move on. But again, she reached out. She reached out verbally. She tried to grab a hold of my spirit.
Don't you dare think you know what you see.
And then came the ride for Retowne, where Matthew decided he would ride all the way from New Jersey to Florida on a bicycle as a publicity stunt for his non-profit organization. But the question is, did he ever really leave at all?
One of my packets of tuna here, somewhere in northeast Maryland. Found a bus stop in the middle of the ascent of one of still countless hills. I actually made it up a few, even with the incredible amount of weight in my packs. Well, call it irony, call it fate, call it the great cosmic joke. And I get it. It's like a joke. It's like a cosmic joke. And only I get the punchline.
Notice how
Had to
the
change my
background in two different videos from two different
mindset. My ride fell
days
through.
seems to appear to be the same bus stop. Experts now confirm that both bus stops are actually
So I
in
plan to
Linwood,
release a video
New
of me
Jersey.
freaking out, saying I
And
wasn't gonna do
after
it.
2 days of filming his trip,
I don't even know
suddenly
where to begin.
Matthew
Lost
appears
the storage unit.
in a vehicle as if he had been driving the entire time.
And, my ride to Philly canceled at the last minute. I got my best friend disputing my claims, about the business swim. Not like I'm trying to, claim the rights to some billion-dollar property and profit off of it. I just wanted all of us to get the credit, but I got him sending me messages. I love you, bro. But I'm a little concerned about you. You seem to be going off the rails a little bit. All our friends are messaging me and telling me they're really worried about, what's going on with you mentally and emotionally, and you're kind of fat and out of shape and worried about your health, trying to ride a bike. This is real life. This is not it's not some abstract concept in a Facebook group. This is not just some stranger in a YouTube video trying to do something wacky,
Hulk Hogan.
Great Macho Man Savage. Oh yeah, see that neck, man? Yeah, this is the ultimate. Oh yeah, I'm gonna grab you by your manholes and shake you in the ropes. The ultimate warrior. I'm gonna put tassels. Me and my tassels are coming.
And she said, I don't have many friends. It's hard. It's hard making new friends. It's hard keeping friends. As you can see, I can't do the things that kids my age do. I took pause because she didn't really look like a kid. Looked to be in her mid to late 20s. I mean, she was pretty in the face. The rest of her, anyway. She said I don't have many friends, that's why I come down here. Come down here to admire the ocean. I imagine that one day someone will come walking along, enjoying the beauty, the majesty of the ocean, and the beach at dusk, and that they will be my friend. I said, oh, that's very nice. She said, will you be my friend? Oh, I felt slightly out of place, out of sorts, out of my mind, because I said, yes, I will be your friend. I understand what it's like. I sometimes feel like an outcast. I have friends. I can play soccer. I can dance until the sweat pours out of my eyeballs and the blood pumps, pounding with the house music, and my booty shorts right up to my neck. I dance like a satyr. I dance like Bacchus. She seemed to be a bit offended by that, so I tried to tone it down afterwards. But I said, of course I will be your friend.
Short stick technique. This is long stick technique is it's stuck. Oh, wait. The long stick technique is like the short stick, but it's more longer. This is the crane. Long, elongated strikes. With the beak. Snake. Stick a bite. This is the monkey. Crazy. The iron fist of the Shaolin monks. Wing Chun. And all that stuff.
The shirtlessness. I mean, that's putting it all out there. I mean, that's devotion. And I was surprised when I saw that on many, many levels. Don't you dare think you know what you see.
There's a message from E-Town. You're going down, punk.
Oh, hey, what? No, he's still there. No.
She said it's tough. It's tough at home. My mother passed away in the same accident that left me like this. Just my father and I have no siblings. My father is a lonely man. He's a good man. He's good to me. But sometimes his bitterness wells up. And he comes down on me rather hard. He says, you don't do anything. Just sit around and watch TV. Read books. Why don't you help with the housework? Do some dishes. Maybe mop the floor. Clean the grout in the bathroom. We have plenty of old toothbrushes. I buy a new one every 6 months, just like I'm supposed to. I save them all. They're in a basket under the sink. You could be doing something useful. In fact, that's what happened tonight. It's all about the grout. So I left. I came down here, tried to clear my head, and imagine somehow God would hear my prayers and bring me a friend. And he has. Thank you, sir. I said you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be your friend. Thank you for being my friend. This is lovely. But it is getting late. I don't want to keep you. Perhaps we could pick this up again sometime. And she cut me off. She said, "You know, you're a very nice young man. Very kind. I bet you have lots of friends. I bet you have great fun. Great fun with your friends. I bet you have a lovely girlfriend. I'm sure you're trying to get back home to her, do the things that lovers do in the night." I said, "No, I actually don't have a girlfriend. But that's very kind. That's very sweet of you to say. Such beautiful things. Such things that tickle the strings of my heart." She said, "You know, I don't have a boyfriend. In fact, I never have. I don't know what it's like. Never had that closeness, that romance." She said, "No one's ever really hugged me. My father hugs me, but it's not the same. I don't have a friend. I don't have a boyfriend to give me that hug, that sweet, warm embrace of knowing."
The Beatles. Woo! This is the Stones. This is Aerosmith. This is Pink Floyd. So yeah, gotcha. Might like to go to the show.
And as Matthew went on his ride for Retowne, and he failed and returned to New Jersey, E-Town was formed. And then Eddie Schiffler went on his own bike ride to head towards New Jersey from Florida to prove that Matt was a wuss. However, there are now questions, legitimate questions, as to whether he also even went on the ride. So now we don't even know. Did Matthew go on the ride? Did Eddie go on the ride? What do we know is true? Experts have weighed in and shown.
I can make good time here.
Extensive video analysis from experts in the field. It is now confirmed that there is a 43% chance
One of the best.
that green screen
Make a good
video
time.
effects were
Brought the kids
used
with me.
on this
I
ride,
think, Florida's pretty flat. I know
and
they make
Eddie had not even left his own house.
keep plugging along. I know
Some
what
have
you're doing,
noticed
Matt.
there is a watermark barely noticeable in
pick
the
it up.
background
Let's go.
of the screen that gives away the fact that we may not be looking at a road at all, but we may be looking at a green screen inside Eddie's own home.
We get Retowne, we're calling it E-Town. If I make it all the way there, Matt, you have to change the name of the nonprofit to E-Town, baby.
There's a message from E-Town. You're going down, punk.
Oh, what? No, he's still no.
Okay, quick fan theory. I think there's a head of the board. And this is just a gut feeling, I don't know. I think Mungleford is at that head of the board. But maybe, I don't know, we'll see.
Knowing and oneness, she said, "I know this is awkward. I know this is strange, but you are my friend, and I could really use a hug." I looked around, wanted to make sure no one saw it. It was rather awkward. I said to myself, you know what? This poor young woman is hurting inside on so many levels I can't even imagine. And it was doing my soul good to have this conversation. And I said, of course I will give you a hug. So I leaned down and over. Didn't really know what to do with my hands. So it was an awkward hug, I guess. More kind of like me trying to pick up a log. But I gave her a hug, and she was beaming from ear to ear. And it made my heart sing. A little bit.
I understand, I think, that they are one and the same.
I don't get what you're doing with Mungleford. I'm worried, but you don't seem to get it, It's not me. 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 Oh boy. Oh.
I said, I'm really glad that we've had this time, but I really must be going. It is getting dark, and I'm sure you need to get home soon. I don't see any lights on this chair. I don't even know how you operate it, honestly. None of my business. We should probably get going. She said, yes, you're right. It is getting dark, it's getting late. I really appreciate your friendship, and the hug. It was wonderful. It made me soar upon the wings of eagles from the land of pure joy and triumphant ecstasy. I said, I know I have that effect on women.
The dispute over the dueling bike rides led to both Eddie and Matt training for a fight and leading into a bitter egg feud.
999. 1,000. Oh. Hey. Sorry, guys. I didn't know you guys were there. Okay, buddy. All right. Here we go. See this? This is Eddie Schiffler's brain. Okay? All right? This, Eddie Schiffler's brain on his ego trip. No, you know what? I'm leaving that shell in there. That shell's staying in there. Look at that. Cooking slow. Looks all disgusting. Yeah. There you go. Eddie Schiffler's brain on his ego trip. Mr. Funny Guy with his jokes. Yeah, that's it right there. Look at that.
See this? Oh, you like to make egg analogies, do you, Matt? Well, this is your brain. Oh. It's gross.
Alright, here we go. Boom. Look at this. See? This is my brain. This is my brain on Retowne. Look at that. Beautiful. Cooking perfectly. Look at that thing. Ugly and vindictive and rude and not funny. That is not funny at all. It's not funny. This is not funny either. It's serious and it's beautiful. That's my brain. That's my brain on Retowne. Eddie Schiffler's brain on dumb jokes and not funny. This, again, not funny either, but good. It is a good and joyful thing. A beautiful thing. Just doing my morning routine. Got up about 3:30. Did my 17-mile jog, and I don't know if you heard that. I just finished doing my curls. One. Two. Oh, my back. Oh, God. I have arthritis in my shoulders. Whatever. I can do like 500s. I didn't stretch enough.
My son Eddie here is my own personal sparring partner.
Trainer.
Trainer. My own personal trainer.
I'm his trainer.
Here we go. Let's go.
Come on,
What kind of sparring partner are you? What kind of sparring partner are you?
I'm a trainer!
You trainer?
Yeah,
How about
I'm a
this
trainer.
train? Train this! Eddie? Turn it off.
The shirtlessness. I mean, that's putting it all out there.
She said, you know what? Along with never having very many close friends or even a boyfriend, never being hugged. And I know she didn't do that. She couldn't do that. She said, I know this is probably even more awkward, and I feel so stupid. I feel horrible for saying it, but I've never been kissed. I've never been kissed. I've never been kissed.
The escalation of the egg feud is what led to the events of 11/25. But experts question, did we really see what happened, or is there more than meets the eye?
Fans, hey, I'm probably looking rough right now. This is an early one. You know, like when you go on a fishing trip, you know, maybe with a dad, an uncle, a family member, and you'd have to get up so early, but you'd have that nervous feeling, or like a Christmas morning, you know, like that, oh, I'm so tired, but oh, I got so much going on today feeling, you I got that feeling today. For those of you who know, it's a big day. Today is the Black Friday 3-day dusk till dawn yard sale. Black Friday yard sale to end all yard sales.
I was feeling very awkward again, being propositioned like that. I looked around again, made sure no one was watching. And she said, if I could just have one thing before you go. She said, if I could ask you one thing, please don't judge me. You can walk away, you can say no, but please just don't judge me. Would you kiss me? I was in a very difficult spot. This young woman had touched my heart in so many ways in such a short amount of time. How could I deny her? But at the same time, it was weird. It was very weird.
You wouldn't think it was possible on Black Friday when so many people this year with such stuff is so hard to find, going out to a yard sale at dawn. But, I think Retowne knows what it's doing. Things are hard to get this year, but we already have what we need in life. What we really need is available to us. We don't have to feed this machine of capitalism and of manufactured obsolescence, economic, unsustainability. That's a lot of the message of Retowne, I think.
On the
Like I
morning
said, who knows what we'll learn.
of
But
Black
but,
Friday,
I'm ready.
11/25,
I got my coffee here.
2021,
That's gone. I've
Joe
been the weather.
William
It was a
Billy
great
Joe
day
Armstrong
to have
Dean
a Black
was
Friday yard
already
sale. So, I
at the
was thinking
scene of
about,
the yard
I
sale,
gotta dig deep and think about these things. I was
even
thinking about how
before dawn.
the video
Although
after the
Matt's
so-called
directions
failed ride to
specifically
Retowne,
instructed it would begin at dawn and not before.
Yeah, here we go. When the sun comes up, when the dawn rises, so too will Retowne. Here we are. The sun has risen. So far, though, we're at the corner of Massachusetts and Route 9 in Summers Point for the Retowne Black Friday yard sale. The sun has come up. The weather's pretty good, and sun has risen, but Retowne has not. And I just want to say to the other fans out there, there's going to be times like this. I was thinking on the ride over, Retowne Matt has asked us to give of ourselves, has asked us to give of our wallets and our time. And I've certainly done that, because I believe. And I just think it's kind of like when you throw a quarter, or in my case, $100 into a wishing well, should your wishes come true? Like, who are you to think you know? That's been what I've said from the beginning. So, I made my wish, and I'm here to see the wish that I don't even know I have come true, and only Matt knows what that is. So if you're thinking,
Jimmy Dean Billy Bob Thornton was there early, and he was clearly disappointed that when dawn arrived, Retowne had not yet taken out all of its thrift items from the garage as was promised. There was motivation, disappointment, and it is clear now for anyone watching that Joe is the one with the motive to do the destruction that happened on that fateful day.
Put your faith in Retowne. So I'm going to be here for a while. I'm really hoping to be in a position to help, to give more of my time, to give more of myself to Retowne, because I believe in the cause. So if anything changes, who knows what this all means, Where is Matt? Where's he going to be? Is he going to be across town? Are we going to get some kind of curveball, because, this could be some greater message, like with my bike, Who knows? But I'm going to be here to show you guys as a supporter and a believer. I'm going to be here to document here, what the greater message is of Retowne. So again, just keep the faith, keep giving, keep believing, and stay open, I'm not too surprised, I'm a little disappointed because I just wanted to be a part of the mission. But again, I'm not in charge. I don't get to call the shots. I just make my wishes and see what comes true. So we'll see. I'm gonna hang around, and if there's something to be done, by golly, we're gonna do it.
Joey Buttafuoco
All right.
Billy Dean Kane couldn't
Got a
wait
little
any
update.
longer. And he
So
decided
it's now
to
7:02.
go in and interview Matt
And I've spoken
before
to
he
Matt.
was ready. Matt was
He
trying
said
to
that
finish taking his
challenges,
morning poop,
which
but he would not be so lucky or given the courtesy. Something had snapped in Joey Bob Billy Joe Jean Don Don, and now he was starting to unravel.
On his way in 5 minutes. So, it's happening. Black Friday, big day. I'll check back. Here we go. Slight change of plans. Matt says he needs help. So, I'm here. I'm ready. He's facing some health issues this morning. And so I would ask for prayers. He's having some stomach issues. It's a tough morning, but I know that this is the most important thing to him. So I have to put in equal effort. If I believe as Matt would, and there's no way that I could possibly put more effort than Matt.
Message from Maddie D.
Okay, he's headed out. All right, this is it, guys. Black Friday, big yard sale. Matt, I know you're busy. Three questions.
But, having spied my surroundings, making sure no one was watching, no one would ever know, I again leaned in, awkwardly. Again, didn't know what to do with my hands, so I just cupped her beautiful young face, closed my eyes, and went for it. She was pretty good kisser. I kind of held on for an extra second, because I was enjoying it, till I remembered where I was. And then I stood up and I said, I really must be going. It has been lovely. And again, she kind of gestured as if she were reaching out to stop me. She said, I think we have something here. I think I can tell you anything. It's amazing. Never had a close friend like this. No one's ever listened to me this long before. But you care. You have a wonderful heart and very soft lips. She said, I know you have to go. I won't keep you any longer. I just have to say one more thing.
I mean, for anyone really paying attention, anyone really aware, what you can see is that Billy Joe Dean was there in the morning before anyone else. Then he interviews Matt, and then he leaves with Matt's pack of cigarettes.
And it's kind of silly. I mean, Matt, he mentioned quitting smoking today, but I'm going to pick it up because I got to have something to calm me down. It's so exciting.
Then some goon shows up and destroys Matt's property. But he's only there for a second. How did all this stuff end up everywhere? And then, suddenly, the pack of cigarettes returns to Matt with a note from E-Town. Impossible. Back and to the right. Back and to the right. Back and to the right. Back and to the right.
I just have to say one more thing.
When you stack all the evidence together, what becomes apparent is that Billy Joe Dean is the man with the white shoes and black pants.
Never had a best friend. Never had a boyfriend. I don't know if that's what we are, but I feel that there could be something there. Never really gotten a hug like that, or a passionate kiss like that. She said, I know this is crude, but the blood is boiling up within me. My spirit is on fire. My soul taking flight like that eagle out of the land of passion and joy and exceedingly ecstatic, wondrous place of joy thing that you were talking about earlier. She said that. It was a little more eloquent when she said it, but
Joe moved in to interview Matt on that morning, and during the interview, he was able to get an up-close look at Retowne and all of its items and where they were placed in order of thriftiness. He also was able to scout out the entire area for surveillance.
It's hurting pretty bad. Yeah, I've been in and out of the bathroom quite a few times. Yeah, it's nothing good.
All right, okay, all right. We're gonna stay strong. So, final question: of the items that you have available for people to help them out, is there anything you're most excited about that could really make a change for someone?
No, I mean, there's, I mean, it's a free thrift,
A wait and see kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything that's incredibly life-changing, but I mean, there's a lot of things people need dishes. Sometimes it's hard to get a hold of a coffee pot. Use coffee pot analogy the other day. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
All right. I want to take more time. It's a big day. We got lots to do. All right, there it is, guys. Here we go. All right, guys. If you haven't seen it yet, this is Retowne. I watched Matt come out here and arrange these boxes in a way that I felt was most inspiring. Really give these items, the life they deserve. And it's really great. So we're out here and we're making it happen. And it's the biggest day I think you can imagine. So thanks, guys, for being here to see it. Here you go. This is what it's all about. Check this out. I mean, you could feed your family so well with something like this. And this is an expensive piece. And a lot of people, they're eating fatty because they don't have something like this. It's a lean fat grilling machine. And look inside here. Look at this. Some of this might be edible. Just incredible. And you could get this too. Just make a donation. That's all you gotta do. This though. I mean, look at this. This is history here. Look at that. I'm not sure who that guy is. Eddie Money. Oh, I've heard of him. So, I mean, that's pretty. I'm not gonna go through them all because I think you should come down and see. You gotta come down and see what's here. Are you kidding me? This is gold. I'm not gonna go through them all because you have to come and see. Plain and simple. There's things. My goodness. There was a Ninja Turtle.
It was shortly after Joe left that the events of Black Friday 11/25 occurred.
No, he's still there. No. She said, "No, never been screwed before." I had to step back. I kind of tripped. Almost fell in the water. Made me look back. Remember where I was. What was actually going on here. I didn't know this woman. She didn't know me. I was just trying to be nice. That's what I get. I didn't even look around this time. I knew what I had to do. I was trapped. Only one choice.
Not only is Joe the man with the white shoes and black pants, he's also the notorious graffiti artist, Zombies. And Matt and the soil sacks and Retowne, he uses his logo as the Eye of Horus.
I mean, check out the sweet tattoo. That makes me cool.
And Eddie, with his band Dogs of Zeus, have you looked at the logo? He says in his brand new song, "I'm the CIA." I'm a CIA! You have to think, what is a soil sack? And you realize through the symbology of all these players that they are part of an ancient secret society. This isn't an arts movement, it's a government and alien conspiracy.
There's a message from E-Town. You're going down, punk.
Oh, what? No, he's still there. No.
And Zombies, what does it really come from? It's an alien from some bad 80s movie. So Joe is an alien. And the Eye of Horus, Horus is an alien. And, Eddie, he's probably an alien too.
There's a message from E-Town. You're going down, punk.
Oh, what? No, he's still there. No.
And what really is a business swim anyway? And how did they get some supermodel? They're all so ugly, they have to be aliens.
Man, it's off and running. 3 days, dusk till dawn. A mission to help on a mission to give back what we already have, to give back to ourselves what we have to begin with. And if you really think on that, I think you'll find so much value in that concept. It's bigger than any of us, but Matt. So yeah, I'm a little bit on edge, a little bit amped up from what I've been through, and it's kind of silly. I mean, Matt, he mentioned quitting smoking today, but I'm gonna pick it up because I gotta have something to calm me down. It's so exciting.
Once again, I leaned in, put my arms under where her arms would be, tenderly, very gently, lifted her up. And then I threw her in the ocean, and I said, there you go. Now you're So, Mr. Donovan, boo-hoo. No one's giving you any money. Can't save your storage unit full of trash. Big deal. Everybody's got bigger problems. It's all fun and games until you have to actually do some work by yourself. Get over it. You. Just like that quadriplegic woman I met on the beach so many years ago. You're now, buddy. Have fun.
Yeah, it feels a little better. In the end, you saw what it is, but the main thing is you have to remember this is not what you think it is. But send your money. Send it out there. You've seen it firsthand. The best account I can give you. I was there, right from the get-go, right from the door, quite literally, from his door, to see what it's all about. But get down there. Give your time, give your effort, give your faith, give your hope, give your money to Retowne Matt. I mean, that's all I can say. And we'll follow what happens. Just give it all up.